This is a little different from other types of fatigue, which I'll explain a little later on. But what I thought we'd do is assess how fatigued you are right now, how difficult it is going to be for you to pay attention to us for the next 40 minutes or so. So one of the really interesting benefits you get is improved physical health. And there's some great studies that look at your immune system. And if you can increase, say, your total sleep time to above 6 hours on a regular basis, you can decrease the risk of getting a common cold by more than four times. So we've got mental and, as I just pointed out, physical health outcomes, well-being outcomes, and performance outcomes that result in better safety. So why are we not concerned about fatigue? Well, I have this hunch that it has something to do with organizational culture. This is why I wanted to really chat with Carol and share her knowledge, because she's going to help me focus and maybe help you focus as well. So Carol, I've got a situation in mind that I think is probably related to organizational culture. So I do a lot of work with military and paramilitary organizations. And they tend to be very mission focused at the cost of almost everything else, including sleep. So they'll shortchange themselves of sleep. They'll fight through pretty intense levels of fatigue just to get their missions done, because that's what they're all about, getting the mission done, accomplishing that task at hand. And of course, they're really strong team players, so they don't want to let their teammates down. Is this a good example of how culture is influencing behaviors, or maybe behaviors are influencing culture?
Yeah, absolutely, Clint. I think that's a great example of how culture can influence what's going on in the organization in terms of productivity, in terms of outcome. And in this poll, we'd like to know, how well does your organization's culture support your fatigue management initiatives? So again, there's a link in the chat. Just think about your own organizations right now. And does the culture support fatigue management or your safety programs? Does it somewhat support it? Or, does it really strongly and prioritize it? So we've got three options here. So let's talk a little bit about a culture of compliance and what that would look like. So the hallmarks of compliance, when we are assessing an organization and they have this type of culture, some of the values that we would see that would show up would be safety, results oriented, it's bureaucratic, there may be command and control policies, and all of this leads into this perception of a lack of trust. And it's very much a parent-child relationship that's going on under a culture of compliance. The second one is to get clear on the culture that you have. How can you leverage the strengths that are in your organization already? Are there elements of the customer story that you can leverage, for example? Some companies work hard about caring for their customers. They're looking to grow their customer loyalty. So how can you turn that same language into caring for employees and retaining employees as a basis for your safety program?